Okay, what's up? It's Justin back here from Modern Mixing. I wanted to discuss the theory of the rule of thirds. This was first introduced to me by one of my favorite mixers, Dave Pensado. He has a show, Pensado's Place, I should say. Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. But yeah, I first heard this from him a while back, even before he had the show. And he was discussing, the rule of thirds, try to incorporate that in the mixing and, yada, yada, yada. So if you go do a research on the rule of thirds, it basically just says that when you're taking a picture, going relating to photography now because that's where it originated, that basically all your important elements in the picture should arrive on one of these lines, like this tic-tac-toe board, but basically they should line up. So your horizon should, line up on this line or down here or something. Or if you're taking a picture of a person, they should be lined up with this line. I mean, it's not exact, art is art, right? But yeah, so when I first heard about it, and I first heard him talk about it, to be honest, I had really no idea how to interpret it, and I basically took it literally that, all your elements of the mix should be on these lines. But as I got more experience and I listened to records more and I was analyzing other people's records that have made it in the industry, I realized I was kind of taking it too literally, and I don't think that people should take it too literally. But I think it's more interpret it how you want to interpret it, and whatever you decide to do in your mixing, is great. That's your own philosophies that you develop over time. But I'm just going to show you how I view it. So I'm going to draw this blue circle here, so you can almost imagine if these black lines weren't here for a minute. This is not exactly, I'm just showing you how I picture, like when I'm listening to a mix, I'm actually envisioning the sounds in front of me as well. Like I can hear where I want them to be in between my speakers, whether it be left, right, up, down, front, back, whatever. So this circle here kind of represents the area in my mixes where I try to almost get everything out of that area. Not always, but it's a general rule anyways. So basically what ends up happening is by the time I'm finished a mix, let me see, what should I use? Paint really sucks, doesn't it? Actually a brush. Let's use a brush. Let's use that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's see if I can get a lighter blue. Alright. So anyways, what ends up happening is all my sounds end up, when I'm kind of done, I know I'm kind of butchering this, but yeah, sorry I'm not talking, I'm just having a fun time doing this. Anyways. So yeah. So anyways, once I'm done the mix and I'm listening to the sounds in between the speakers, this is sort of I'm just drawing this as like, think of this as like all the sounds being put together. So all this blue mess, it looks like a 3-year-old drew it, but it all the sounds together, when they're together and they're forming this one cohesive piece of music, they all form this space. So it's let me see, let me get a red. So like for instance, the vocal might be up here, right up in the top, and then, the snare and the kick might live right around here. Maybe the bottom end from the kick is around here. Maybe the bass is underneath. The bass is actually pretty wide. It kind of sounds like it's taking up a lot wider space, like from left to right, but anyways, generally down here. And then you have all your other stuff, taking up all this area, like hi-hats and shakers and sounds and blah, 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 blah. Yada, yada, yada. All this other crap over here. So anyway, so now there's like, well, what the hell's the hole in the center? So basically, the way I view this more in frequency than anything, but it's also panning. But I view this as, let's just say, I don't know, say 250 hertz to, I don't know, let me see, like say 600, I guess. I don't know. Again, it's not an exact science. It's just kind of like a sort of. Let's make that bigger. So yeah. So getting to the left side of the speaker is panning, obviously. To the right side of the speaker is panning. And then, but to be able to get the vocal and the snare, well, first of all, you obviously need a good sounding vocal. You need a good recording. You need a good sample, snare sample, or good recording. Same thing with the bass. But then just in here, this is all the 250 to 600 hertz that I don't like. And as I start cleaning that area up, it's like magic. It's just like the vocals just start moving up. The kick drum the bottom of the kick drum starts to move down. The top end of the kick drum starts to move up. So again, it's more, I'm listening and I'm kind of visualizing the sounds in between the speakers as I'm doing it at the same time. I'm placing things in the speakers where I want to place them relative to height. There could be a certain impact I want, so I might pull them out of the speakers a little bit more. But yeah, so what ends up happening is, oh my God. What ends up happening is, let's go back to a blank one here. When you get your sounds, and if you're not, particular about your placement and stuff like that, what ends up happening is you get, hold on, let me get another brush. Okay, that's better. So you start getting all your sounds, you might have your vocal, your snare, and your kick, and your bass, your hi-hats, all your sounds, and they're all kind of living in this one space in the center. And it just makes for a non-exciting mix. Everything's clumped up into this one area, so when you transfer from system to system, it sounds boomy on one system, it sounds dark on another system. It's not translating, the vocals are buried. So yeah, so if you work on this 200 to 600 hertz area, cleaning things up, work on your panning, getting things out of the way. I'm generally a hard left, hard right kind of guy, but I'll put things in the center too, like not in the center, but to the left, a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left, like hi-hats, maybe delays and effects. So yeah, so anyways, it's a general idea of how I look at it and how it comes out. But just take this and, use it however you want to use it, and hopefully you can create your own landscape. Maybe you hear sound totally different than me, and that's fine. That's great. I hope you do. I hope your mixes end up sounding better than mine. That'd be great too. So yeah, take that. Hopefully you learned something. And I wanted to talk about resonance on this video, but we'll get into the next one. This idea just came to me, and I wanted to just show everybody how I see it. And that's it. Maybe next time I'll have better drawings. I'm sorry, I can't draw very well. All right, bye.